Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I am going to share with you 5 separate prophecies that have all led to the same conclusion about one event that will be the catalyst for the dinar revaluation happening. Stay tuned. My name is Steven. I am an entrepreneur and investor. I have been invested in the Iraqi dinar since 2011. I am not a financial advisor. I am not an economist, and this video is not financial advice. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I do not give dates. I do not give rates, and any other channel that claims to have intel that they know when or if it's going to happen, they are lying to you, and I would highly recommend not following the advice of those lunatics. So I'm glad you're here, and in this video, we're going to dive into 5 separate prophecies that are completely unrelated to each other, and we're going to see the congruence and the similarities that they have, the things that they spoke about, and we're going to see if we could figure out the timetable for the Iraqi dinar revaluation. Even though I am a Christian and I grew up in church, I am always skeptical when someone says God told them something, right? Or God spoke to me about something. Not because I don't believe them, but because I grew up in church. I've seen a lot of things. I remember 10 years ago when my mom was battling stage 4 colon cancer, this nice woman, prayed over her. And then she said, God told me that you are going to live, you're not going to die. And unfortunately, my mom, did end up passing away, right? So I think people have the right motive, but I think we have to be very, very careful when it comes to, listening to people when they say, God told me, or, I heard from God, right? I do believe people do hear from God, but we just have to be careful. We always have to take it back to God in our own prayer time and see if we feel our own confirmation. And also too, when certain people are all prophesying the same thing, I do think that gives it a lot more credibility. For example, in this video that I'm about to share with you, these are 5 separate people who all prophesied the same thing over the last 15 years, right? So to me, that gives it a lot more validity and a lot more credibility that the event that God showed them or spoke to them about is most likely going to happen. So again, take everything back to God in prayer. Don't listen to anyone. Don't take anyone's word for it. Don't listen to me. Take everything back to God in prayer and do your own research and make sure that He confirms it to you, in your quiet time with Him. That's the most important thing. Now, I got to give credit to another YouTuber. His YouTube page, I will include it here, is The Wealth Transfer with TC. He posts really, really, amazing videos and information about the Iraqi dinar, about crypto, and he did a video on this as well. He did a lot of the legwork, so I want to give him credit for that. And I'm just really covering a lot of the work that he's already done, with sharing these videos and these prophecies. So make sure you go subscribe to his channel. So the first video I'm going to share with you, it actually has 2 prophets in it. The first gentleman, his name is Matthew. He used to be involved in the dinar community. He went by the name Footforward. He hasn't posted any content in years. And this video was actually an older video. I believe he did it in like 2015, 16, or maybe even a little bit before that. I'm really not sure. But this is a much older video. And he also goes over Chris Reed's prophecy about the same thing that Matt prophesied about. So check this out.
You who are newer to me, you won't know this, but about 18 months ago, I had a word that I shared publicly about Israel hitting Iran. But it was about a very specific site. And I had said, this was 18 months ago, that Israel was going to hit this site, and that was going to be a sign, because this was going to happen before wealth transfer stuff started to happen. So this is a sign that I've been watching for, and I haven't seen anyone else prophesy about this until today. The site that I had mentioned was the Baxter nuclear plant in Iran. So if you are familiar with that word, or, well, for any of you who have been interested in my videos, you're going to want to watch this.
I saw a sudden airstrike from Israel against Iran. And the target will be a nuclear developing facility in Iran. And I believe what I saw in vision, it was the Bushehr nuclear plant in Iran that was suddenly hit by Israel's military because of the enrichment and the development of nuclear weapons.
So I think this is an important word to watch. This is why I wanted to bring this to your attention, because Chris is the only other person that I've seen with this specific word. And it's interesting because It was 18 months ago that I had this word.
And I'm also going to be posting all of the videos below. So if you want to go subscribe to their channels or follow those channels, please do so. The next video I'm going to share with you is by a woman named Rachel. She made this video, I believe it was 2024, saying that God showed her an open vision of what is going to happen in Iran. So I'll play that now.
So in this closed vision, so in a closed vision, my eyes were closed and this whole scene played out in front of me with my eyes closed. But it wasn't from my own imagination. I wasn't like, I want to think about this. It was like this thing dropped into my mind and my heart. Okay. I saw Jesus usher me through a white threshold into a great expanse. First, I looked to the left and I saw a scene taking place behind a wall where smoke was rising. There had been a major explosion. So massive, it reminded me of a mushroom cloud. So there's that explosion. I heard, Holy Spirit spoke to me. He spoke these words: death, destruction, embitterment, chaos, disorder. Death, destruction, embitterment, chaos, disorder. And then he spoke a word that I didn't know what it was, never heard it before. I heard Kayed. Kayed. Okay, I heard it. I didn't see it, so I didn't know how it was spelled. And so after this experience ended, I looked this up, okay? So here's what I learned about Kayed. These are kind of various definitions. When a smoking pipe's contents have been reduced to complete ash, it is said to be Kayed. When a smoking pipe's contents have been reduced to complete ash, it's said to be kayed. So here there's something relating to fire, because you need some fire to have smoke, and ash. Okay. And then in the Arabic language, the word kayed means commander or leader. Okay. So at the same time that I had this experience, the Lord put Damascus into my heart, into my mind. So these are just pieces of a puzzle. Okay. And the Lord does this because we see in part. I'm not God. I have to rely fully on the Lord and Holy Spirit and Jesus working in my life to understand anything. He is the source of all wisdom. I bring nothing to the table. So Damascus, if you don't know, is the capital city of Syria. I think I knew that at this point. And then I heard Iran. So these are the things I heard: death, destruction, embitterment, chaos, disorder, Kayed, Damascus, Iran. Okay. So then in that, it was like the Lord dropped an understanding in my heart related to, I felt led to understand that there will be the shaking or explosion that I saw behind the wall would impact the Bushehr nuclear power plant. Okay. I didn't know anything about Bushehr, a nuclear power plant in Iran, where it was at the time. The Lord dropped this understanding in my heart. Okay. So I just want to say that again. I don't know that means that the explosion has to be at Bushehr, that's where it is, but this explosion impacts Bushehr nuclear power plant. So whether that's the source of it or somehow the nuclear power plant in Bushehr is related to the explosion that I saw. So I found out later that there is a nuclear power plant in Bushehr. It's in southwest Iran. And it was built in 2013, and it produces power for Iran. And it also, the spent nuclear material is what's used in the production of enriching uranium. Okay, there, interestingly, as I searched out Kayed in Iran, I found that there were 5 Iranian cities named Kayed, Q-A-E-D. One of them is located in the Bushehr province in southwestern Iran, very close to Bushehr, and to the nuclear power plant.
So far we have 3 separate people claiming that God spoke to them about this attack in Iran, but not just in the country of Iran. It's at a very specific location called the Bushehr nuclear facility. Now, when I heard this, that fascinated me, because I'm like, how would these people know that, right? All of these prophecies came during different years. They're not related to each other. These people don't know each other. So that's what really got my attention. These are 3 separate prophecies, and we're about to jump into the 4th.
Posted on Z3 News website on March 29, 2021 by Jazzy. In 2003, I received a series of 7 prophetic dreams warning about a future collapse of the global financial systems. This is one part of the 3 dreams I had. The title is Remember This. When you see this happen, you will know it has begun. In the 3rd dream, Israel believed their existence was in danger. They did a preemptive strike. It seemed like they hit 2 or 3 areas hoping to eliminate their enemy's ability to destroy them, but one of the targets was far more dangerous than they knew. It was something like an underground bunker, or factory, or lab. When it was hit, it blew up and released something into the air. I was not shown what it was exactly, but I knew it was something dangerous like a gas, bioweapon, or fallout from some lab. It escaped into the air, and then drifted downstream towards a couple of small villages, and I saw some people living there were killed by it. Then the whole world erupted in outrage over what had happened and blamed Israel instead of the nation who built the illegal lab. Israel was shocked and had no idea what was underground. The world leaders blamed Israel. I saw them shouting and accusing Israel. I saw their hatred, and it was all directed at Israel. Then something terrible happened. The whole world was in a time of great global economic corruption and instability, and this one event caused a couple nations' financial markets to wobble then collapsed. This caused more nations' markets to become unstable and start to collapse. Then it was like dominoes, one by one all the world's markets started collapsing. All stock markets, banking systems, credit card companies, every financial instrument collapsed.
Now, this last video that I just played for you is very fascinating because this woman claims she had this vision back in 2003. So we're going over 20 years ago. That's a very long time. So when you have, all four of these prophecies lining up with each other and basically leading to the same thing and the same conclusion, it is quite fascinating. And when you combine it with the prophecy from Kim Clement years ago that said, the Iraqi dinar would revalue when things are at their worst. Well, this sounds like a situation where things would be at their worst when it comes to just the world economy, the US economy, things going wrong in the Middle East. I mean, it sounds like essentially it's the brink of World War III, oil prices skyrocketing. So obviously this all remains to be seen. But to me, this is all quite fascinating when you have all these unrelated prophecies all pointing to the same exact conclusion. We don't know the time frame. We don't know when it's going to happen. But when you look at everything geopolitically that's happening in the world right now, where the US could possibly be attacking Iran at any point in time. Just a few days ago, Israel actually launched missiles into Iran. I mean, right now, it's a very hostile situation. There are a lot of things that could happen at any given point in time. So, if you're paying attention to the news, then you have to be somewhat excited because it looks like we are possibly right there at the doorstep of all of these things coming to fruition. I'm also going to play a quick video for you showing that Israel is gearing up for something happening in the near future, possibly, an attack on Iran.
Israel is gearing up for war, or at least preparing for the unthinkable. High-level Israeli military chiefs are reportedly reviewing strike plans against Iran, while the United States ramps up its largest Middle East military buildup in decades. According to YNET, Air Force Commander Major General Tomer Bar and Head of Military Intelligence Major General Shlomi Binder convened a top-secret meeting to assess operational readiness for potential attacks on Iranian nuclear and missile sites. This comes amid an unprecedented U.S. deployment. Aircraft carriers, stealth fighters, drones, aerial refuelers, and advanced missile defenses are now positioned in the Gulf and Eastern Mediterranean. Analysts are calling it the largest non-wartime buildup in recent memory.
So again, there is no doubt we are in very fascinating times when it comes to what is happening around the world. And again, take everything back to God in prayer. Do your own research. Don't take my word for it. This is just for entertainment purposes only. And I'm just sharing my thoughts with you on where I think we are. So I love you guys. I hope you have a great day, and share with me below. What do you think is going to happen next? Do you think we're close? Have you heard any other prophetic, things happen from other people that have confirmed everything that I shared in this video? I would love to hear from you below. So make sure you post in the comments, and until next time, bye-bye.